Hi everyone, I'm your host Prasha and welcome to Her STEM Stories, episode number 42. Today is super special because if you don't know yet, I am a chemical and a mechanical engineer and we're celebrating Engineers Week 2019. Engineers Week started in 1951 where 70 organizations came together to bring awareness to the work that engineers do and the role that they play in this society. And it's incredible, especially in today's day and age. Everything that we work with or use has gone through an engineer. And that's why I wanted to showcase some incredible women for the rest of the month who are engineers and who are doing some fantastic jobs in engineering fields. So let's get started with today's episode where we're talking to a fit engineer, Deepty.
Welcome to Her STEM Story, a podcast about real women with extraordinary science, technology, engineering, and mathematics stories. In this show, we'll talk to some absolutely inspiring women and highlight some women-led organizations in the fields of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. We'll learn more about their work, their struggles, and how they think we can close the gender gap in STEM professions. Keep listening to get inspired.
Today we're talking to a very special guest. She's one of my college mates from India. She is a backup NDR engineer at an IT firm in India. Deepti went to school for IT engineering and has a very special passion project. Deepti is a fitness coach and a budding fitness entrepreneur. Let's talk to Deepti and learn more about her strong and inspiring STEM story. Hi Deepti, thank you for joining us.
Hi, Prasha. Thank you for the lovely introduction.
So we went to, just a little bit background, we went to VIT and Deepti went to VIIT. We were in the same hostel in Pune, India. That's where I went to school for my engineering. And it's such a great way of reconnecting. I'm so excited.
Absolutely. Yes.
And you've been on a fantabulous journey. I think you have definitely set out to do something that no one else is doing, especially in my circles. And I have not seen anyone do something as creative as you are. And so I'm so interested in learning more about your parkour gym. So tell us about that.
Pakor as in, so basically it's a very new sport, especially in India. Mm-hmm. In countries like US and UK, there are different gyms where people have already started working out. In India, we hardly have any gyms at all. It's a very new sport and a handful of us are doing. In fact, among girls, I think I'm among the first generation of girls who's actually participating in this sport. Yeah, the saying about it is very interesting. So what parkour means is basically moving from an obstacle A to obstacle B in any way that you can and how freely as you can. So it's more like a life thing there. You see obstacles as opportunities and how to go from one space to another. And, you can do different things to pass it on and move in your natural environment. Like in current situation, you see most of our jobs involve just sitting down or just being indoors. Parkour is a sport that takes you outdoor. You play with natural, you don't need a separate setup. You don't need treadmills. You work with in the park or you work on the roads and, you use what is there in the environment. So, yeah.
That's wonderful. Isn't that beautiful? Like just the way you put it, like, just in general in life, we look at obstacles and get disheartened or don't know what to do with them, or we kind of try to wait for the right moment or to, create those right set of circumstances to do something,
Yeah. We waste a lot of time in self-doubt and, if we'll be able to do it, not do it. See obstacles as obstacles.
Yes.
But parkour actually teaches you to see obstacles as opportunities, to be stronger and, take that challenge and go ahead.
That's awesome. So tell us a little bit, about your STEM journey. So tell us a little bit about your current job and, what do you do?
Okay, I'll talk about how I actually started in technical.
Yes. Sure.
Right? So in India, like not engineering or medical is a default path. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I've grown up, or as I've been molded, I was only given options between medical and engineering. I did not see any other profession as a real profession, to be honest. So engineering was a default path for me, but I have thoroughly enjoyed studying it. And more importantly, I love physics. Like, I love the subject physics and so much logic to it, and especially the sport that I play. There is so much physics to it. Like, you understand with how much speed and how much momentum and acceleration, and it's crazy that I've loved the subject so much and I can relate it to the sport that I play. That is one part. That's how I started engineering. And then I got into a company called Veritas that deals with backup softwares. That's where I started being a technical engineer there. And I had a wonderful 5 years of experience there working. So my job mostly involved every country or every company. We usually have this data, right, on our phones, on our computers. We save it. Like, we take a picture and we save it. We never actually think about, how is our phone being able to save those images? How is it going in the background and working? What software is used? What hardware is used? How are we able to see things like, I have 4 GB of, say, disk space, and how am I able to, compress the data and put it in the same 4 GB? I can use, like, for a lot more data in very little space of disk.
Yes.
So my job basically involves optimization of, how you can fit in the data in particular space, or how it can be optimized. And now that we are moving to cloud, and how can we transfer data to cloud and make it always available? And so it's pretty interesting, to be honest.
Yeah. That's definitely the field to be in right now. So and it's interesting that you say that, because I'm obviously I'm from India. I grew up there, and we only had a couple of options, and that's all there was. And if you were good at math, you did engineering. If you were not good at math or science, you were an outcast pretty much. Nobody liked you a lot in your
Yeah,
family.
you were not, but it was like you're just bad in studies.
I
Like,
know, and it just creates your image, and it was terrifying. Or you were the cool kids who were in commerce and or whatever, and it's a different world. I think it's so different than America, and that's why it's so important that we talk about this today, because what I want to do with the show in 2019 is to make it more diverse, and to actually show people the kind of backgrounds a lot of us, women in STEM come from. And it is not just a problem in the US, it's a global problem.
Global, right.
And we are all in a global economy, global world, global technology and everything. So we need to know more about, some of these backgrounds.
Russia is, what really is funny is most of our Indian companies, like the companies working for, is a US based company. And we do interact with colleagues of different countries, right? But the work culture somewhere else is so much different. The same company, the same policy, but it is so different for some other citizen, and it's so different for other countries. So I think what you're doing is really, really good. Like, the world should know that, how a same company employee is treated in one particular country, and how it differs in different country. And it is a very good space, and I think what you're doing is wonderful.
Thank you. See, I got some praise for myself. But moving on from all the good work I'm doing, I'm excited to share a lot of the good work you're doing. So you told us a wonderful story about parkour, but I really want to know how you got started into fitness. So how does a girl who is into IT, and she's working as a backup engineer in India, I know you have long commutes. It's not as easy as it is in the US, and sometimes people have longer commutes in the US too, but I know India doesn't have a great work-life balance. So how did you find time to start getting into this passion project space of yours?
I was working in IT, and somewhere down the line I just thought maybe I'm missing the play part of it. I'm working hard, I'm earning what I should, I'm taking back home, and I'm providing to whom I should be, but somewhere I am losing on the life part. I think, I'm not really living it. So I am doing the responsibility part, but I am not really enjoying what I'm earning, to be honest. right?
Mhm.
So then I started looking at my different options. Maybe I should take care of my health, and maybe I should take care of how I talk to people or how I socialize. There is something outside job as well. It is not
Yes.
just 9 to 6.
Mhm.
And that's where I started going for different courses. I started doing a dance course and b-boying, I think.
Mhm.
And then I just joined a gym for
Mhm.
no reason. There was just one thought that, I am making enough money, I'm doing what I'm supposed to, but maybe I'm
Mhm.
missing out on life. As
Mhm.
a 22-year-old girl, I should be doing more than just going to 9 to 6 office, right?
Mhm.
So that's the thought that just came to me. And I joined different classes, and one of them was joining a gym.
Mhm.
And it so happened that there was a competition going on, and I just registered for it. Like no thought process, no background of being an athlete or anything. Like I was never an athlete. There was no thought process to it. I just applied for the competition, and it so happened that I was there were girls who were competing like for last 10 years or so, and I wasn't that bad myself. You know,
Mhm.
I did not win the competition, but
Mhm.
at that time I realized that whatever I'm doing is so much fun. It is so much fun just being a part of it, and
Yeah.
just knowing what are your qualities and what you can work on. So
Mhm.
in that competition, in the process, like I got 3 months to prepare for it, and I got my first push-ups that time. And for
Wow.
a girl to do push-ups like at
Yeah.
that time, like for in 2015, it was
Yeah.
like a big deal, at least in India.
Oh
Okay.
no, it's a big deal for me. I still don't have my push-ups, so don't
Yeah, so that's what I'm
don't
saying.
worry about it.
So at that time, I felt so, like a winner. Like I can do anything in this world.
Yeah.
If I can do a push up in 3 months, I can just do anything that came in my mind.
Mhm.
I started having goals like, in 3 months, I'm going to do push ups, and in 3 months, I'm going to do pull ups. And I would really work for it. And it was like a video game for me. Like, I'm playing at the end of it. This is my reward. I'll go to the next stage. So it's like push ups. This was my first stage of one game, and the
Uh-huh.
next will be pull up, and the next will be, and the goals kept happening, and there were little goals, and then at the end there were victories, and then there was new goals.
Yeah.
And the fitness, I don't know from where it shifted, just from gymming, then it went to CrossFit, then I competed in CrossFit, and I did pretty okay. Like I wouldn't say I went like on top of the world, but I did pretty decent with how much effort I was putting along with my job,
Mhm.
right? Then I don't know from where, somewhere I met these group of guys who were practicing parkour, and I was like, oh my god, that is like real sport. Like
Yeah.
somebody's outside, and they're playing like how we should be, like monkeys, just
Yeah.
flying around, and it was so cool. It was like superhumans, and I thought, okay, this is what I want to do. And
Yeah.
I don't know when the parkour started, and when I got the title of being like among the first few girls in India to be a female parkour athlete, and that got me more interested. Like, oh, I'm doing more with my life than actually just doing
Yes.
music.
Yeah.
And then I started getting opportunities in movies and in ads and stuff like that, and it just so basically what I learned is you just have to be willing to do something, and once you
Yes.
start, you just start getting opportunities. And
Yes.
I really did not have to go to the film industry. I did not really do those modeling shots and those photo shoots and stuff.
Yeah.
I just started getting opportunities, and really big opportunities, like
Yes.
with Nike, and a lot of good sports brands, and it just kept growing. And
Yeah.
yeah, it
And
has.
I'm going to stop you right there because I want to know more about those opportunities. But before that, I have a question for you. Coming from India, um, so when you selected fitness,
Mhm.
as one of the things that you wanted to do, and CrossFit, oh my God, I started last year in April, and I'm terrible at discipline, so I'm still getting into it, and I
You'll
try
get
my
there.
best to go there, and I have a big goal this year to actually compete and hopefully get better at it, but
Mhm.
it's not an easy sport. I mean, CrossFit is extremely hard, and your story is giving me so much hope that I can do something. And I'm not a loser. But that being said, was it difficult for you to first of all to find time, right, to pursue all this, and also did you get any kind of like pushback from friends or family, or just the societal pressures of for not doing this?
The funny thing is, these are the exact two struggles that I've faced. The first thing that comes, like you said, in India, if you're not an engineer or a doctor, you're just like nobody, right?
Yes. Yeah,
So
it's terrible.
one of the thing is I had to really, really work hard and prove it to the people. So I was never given an option that, maybe it is okay to not do well and not do technically very good and do
Mhm.
exceptionally good in sports. That was not
Mhm.
my option. I
Yeah.
really had to work really well in IT. Like I had to be technically, and my job had to be really good for
Mhm.
everybody around me to be convinced, okay, you can give an hour to sports,
Yeah.
uh, yeah, I was never given an option to, since you're
Pursue
enjoying
it.
it,
Yeah.
and if you're really good at it, go for it. I had to be good at, like, it's always been, even in school or even in colleges, that since you're from India, you'd understand a
Yeah.
parent will only let their kids go and play if they've done their homework right or have scored certain marks in the exam or doing well in their studies. It'll never be that, if you're good in sports, why not pursue that? It'll always be,
Mhm.
first finish your studies, first do well in what your studies, and sports is always seen as a second part, right?
Mhm.
So that is one part that I always struggled with. Like I did not have an option of sports first and job second. But
Yeah.
now, but again, there is two sides to it, Prasha. Really.
Mhm.
So our elders know how life has been, and they know that job is a very important
Important
part
part.
of our
Mhm.
life, right?
Mhm.
So their basic criteria was, you as long as you can take care of yourself, we are okay. So
Yeah.
there are two sides to it. So now when I do my certifications in fitness, and now when I do all these different competitions, or when I have to take care of my nutrition, which is very expensive, like, to have
Mhm.
the meal prep and everything, I do not have to think about the finances because my job is paying me that well.
Yes.
I
Yes.
have worked so hard in the IT industry, and for that, whatever it may be, maybe in a good way or a bad way, somewhere my
Mhm.
people around me had encouraged me, do your job well, and then you can do whatever you want. Today, I don't really have to struggle for the finances, which
Mhm.
most people may have who have just taken sports as their first option. But
Yes.
again, it's just, so that is one thing, that I had spent more time in a job, and then I had to start sports. So I am pretty late in the sport.
Yeah.
I, I started when I was 27, where I could have started at 22 or maybe 20, and
Yeah.
I am way better than what I'm
Yeah.
now. That
Yeah.
is one side of it. And second, that I really struggle. But like I said, the first part I understand both the sides. Like I
Yeah.
understand. The second is time management. Like I have to sit on
Mm.
a weekend. I have to plan every little detail from
Oh.
next 5 days, what I'm gonna wear in office, in gym, and because I don't have time to go in my cupboard and take out 10 clothes and choose one. What I have to eat every day, what I have to, what time will I go to the gym, which day will be my recovery. I have a full planner, and one full week is planned for me. If anything comes up, if I have some bank work, or if I have to take somebody to a doctor, everything has to be in the planner. I don't have a space where I can take maybes, and if I
Yeah.
have to hang out with a friend, it has to be written somewhere. Okay, this 2 hours I am hanging out with this person, and
That's
it
incredible.
the time management has to be done really well, because
Yeah.
if I get half an hour late in the gym, that means I'm reaching office like half an hour late,
Mm.
which again puts me in trouble, right?
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah,
God, I know because that those were like a couple of things that obviously that those were the things that I was thinking too. Like because I know, as I said, there's no like work-life balance in India because you have a lot of commuting, and
right.
the hours are not like America where you walk in at 8, you leave at 5, and you can still make it to the 5:30 gym because the gym is like 3 minutes away, or for some cases the gym is in the office, voila, and you're fine. People don't have that liberty, and I think that stops a lot of people, especially women, from pursuing the things that they enjoy,
Mhm.
and they feel like they need to give up one or the other, and they got to make a choice. And I think that's what causes a lot of it's a snowball effect. Like if you're not doing things that make you happy, you're going to be depressed, and
Absolutely.
eventually you're not going to like your life. Like that's just how it is. It's
That's a saying that we I think we said it very often when we were kids. Like, all work and no play makes Jack a
yeah,
dull boy, and that is
yeah,
what it.
yeah,
And
it's truly.
and the funny thing is, it's not only with women. Like, I used to organize these sports event in IT, like in my office, and there used to be guys like really, really out of shape, like with a lot of body fat and stuff like that. But they were really good at games like basketball, and they have really played in this like state level. But after getting a job, given up everything and just
Yeah.
office life. Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us this, that how, so if someone's struggling with these issues where, oh, I can't go to the gym, or I can't do things that I enjoy, or can't give things a try, and they are in your shoes, they're probably working, and they're in India. What will be that one piece of advice that you would give them to start getting more organized?
So one thing is, just find 1 hour or maybe 30 minutes and push yourself to the gym. Once you are at the gym, you will work out. There's no option of not working out.
Yeah.
You should go and work out. And even if you can't, like for instance, if you go for 2 days, you're a person who's tried it, who's tried going to the gym, and after the third day or maybe 1st of January you go, and by 6th of January you give up.
Yeah.
Just hire yourself a personal trainer. You'll be doing two people a favor. You'll be paying a person's bill, like who deserves it. His spent on certification. Get yourself a personal trainer, and give yourself a month to work with him. You will learn your techniques. You will learn your forms, everything correctly. There'll be a trainer who will call you every time and tell you, don't miss the gym. I've come only for you. So you'll feel responsible and go for it.
Yeah.
And once, after a month, you'll get used to it. It'll be a part of your routine, because you're waking up every morning, going to the gym and then going to work. It becomes a part of your routine. And that's how it.
And I think with any hobby, anything that you start, like I started podcasting and I didn't know where to start. I didn't know what to do. And I thought I didn't have enough time in the day. But as I started learning more about it, as I started making, connections, and at one point I hired a coach and, stuff like that, I kind of started falling in love with it. And as you said, it opens a lot of opportunities, and new things started showing up, which were not engineering and medical, and which were not the same two professions that we know. And you're just mind blown. This whole Pandora box opens, and you're like, oh my God, like I don't believe this.
I know we are like girls of science and all that, but when you really want to do something, when you're really working hard, the energies from all over, perfect. Everything around you, they just come together and they make things work for you. Maybe back
100%.
It just happens.
Yeah, 100%. Like the universe, right? You ask, you believe, and you receive. So I believe in that, like a crazy person. But it's true. The universe really brings everything together. It brings opportunities unless you are in the space to receive it, unless you're positive, unless you're, really, as you said, organized and planning your what you want to do next. Now, this is something that nobody is telling you to do. So I think big struggle that people go through is that they don't have direction. So a lot of times people lose momentum because they're like, I'm not sure what to do next, because they're thinking someone's going to come and tell them like what to do next.
There are times when you don't know what to do. Just hire somebody, or just get a mentor in anything. Just
that's
get
beautiful.
Mentor, and that's all.
That's beautiful, because I think people don't realize, especially young professional millennials. After you're 25 and stuff, you're just lost in this world, because all this time you had a school, a college. Maybe you were an individual contributor, or you had a boss who was micromanaging, and suddenly sometimes you just don't have anyone, and you're trying to maneuver through life with no help, and you feel like lost. And again, as I said before, it snowballs. It affects your mental health. People don't realize this, but it does. Not having a coach or not having someone helping you through life is it's tough. So it's always good to hire someone, and people don't realize, why should I pay, whatever money, but it's totally worth it, because, you're investing in yourself. And it's definitely very true for fitness, because if you invest in yourself, you will show up, you will be more accountable. And I've realized this, life coaches and stuff, and even fitness coaches, people charge a lot of money so that you get results. I mean, it's really what that is. It doesn't mean that
it's like one-time investment. You learn it for a month,
oh my God.
and then it's yours. Like they can't take the knowledge away from you.
And actually the same thing for the books and stuff, right? If you buy a book, I mean, that's the best investment you can make in yourself ever. Like you should just read a book a month. Like that's how I started on my journey of, finding something more in life. And that was mostly through books. And I said, I'm going to read a book once a month. That's it. I'm not even going to go all crazy. But those books kind of open those doors, right? That, this is how you control your habits, and this is how you control your goals, and this is how you, control people around you. And it's just wisdom that's just actually sitting on shelves around the world. All you have to do is just go read it. And you don't have to figure this out on your own, because I think a lot of people, especially women in India, and because I've seen my own mother do this, like they feel this pressure to actually figure it out on their own. And it's like, it's so annoying. It's like, no, you can ask for help. You can ask for all the help you want, because someone somewhere has done this before.
I'll just try to stop you here, Prasha. I just want to add something, what is really sad is like there is a lot of support for women, and, a lot of support for women to go forward. But when it comes to asking for help, we shouldn't be we shouldn't be concentrated only for women, because there are a lot of guys who are always told, you can't cry, you can't you are a guy, you shouldn't be weak.
100%.
Which makes it very hard. We make it so acceptable that it's okay she cries, it's okay if she can't do it. Even in my workouts, if I'm doing a handstand or anything, people will just accept it. Okay, she's a girl, it's okay if she can't do it. And with guys, if they can't do it, a group of people will come and maybe laugh about it or things, which is not right. I think it's okay with both of them, both
genders. But see, the interesting thing is that the way we treat men, right, or the way men are supposed to be, quote unquote, affects the life quality of the woman that comes to their life. It's interesting. For example, if a man is depressed or not happy, or whatever's going on in his life, he doesn't have, as you said, he doesn't have a lot of options to share that with people, and it's kind of like socially not okay for him to feel like that, right? What that creates is a lot of anxiety and anger, right? And then you have this woman who is kind of allowed, I don't want to say allowed, but who's okay with being weak, right? So what do you think that dynamics is going to look like? This man is going to be angry, right? And this woman is going to be helpless, and they get married. I mean, this is essentially an Indian marriage, or most of the marriages. I don't even know a lot about other countries and their marriages because I grew up in India, but that's essentially a marriage, right? And now this person they have to tolerate each other with all this baggage that according to the society they're supposed to carry. And it's just sad. And then they raise kids who are the same, right? Angry and helpless. And it's a vicious cycle where we're kind of stuck in it. Because we're ignoring both the genders, because I think the gender conversation, I mean, you put it really well, but the gender conversation is not just one-sided. It has to be both-sided, because we are all in this world together and we affect each other, right? So if we're not giving a safe space to our men to be themselves and doing the same for the women, we're creating a place where everyone's kind of not happy and anxious all the time, right? Just to conform with the gender requirements of the society. It's pretty interesting. I love talking about this stuff.
It's like a long conversation which has no ending.
I know, but I love this because I feel like people don't realize how much depth this conversation, this topic has, right? And it's not just women in STEM.
I have like, how girls, there are few girls who are like really delicate, and there are few girls who are like really athletic and sporty, who we call them as tomboys. You know? But there are these sides to guys also. There are guys who are like really strong, and there are guys who are like a little to the feminine side, who are more attracted probably to art and things like that, not really sports, and which is fine. And artistic guys, they need to show their emotions. They need to this is how they work. This is how artistic guys work. And if we don't open up saying that it's okay for a guy or a girl to be
whoever they want,
whoever they want to be, and if we just say no, girls should be this and girls should be that, and there's actually, if you go to see, there's no support for guys like this. which is really
Yeah, it's
weird.
terrible. But I think the point is that the whole gender discussion goes out the window if there's no equality in our own houses, right? In our own households, and it's just so important, especially in India. I feel like it's even more important because we have a little bit more
Prashant,
work to do.
the life, how we've seen our parents.
Yeah,
It's very different for our generation. Like one generation has made so much of change and so much
yeah,
improvement. It's really, there was a time where I remember in my hostel. I don't know if you remember those girls, but there were people who used to have 6, 7 siblings.
yeah.
And first 5 would be girls, and the only reason the parent would keep trying
Fine.
was
Yeah,
because they wanted a son. you
yeah.
know so they would have a 7th child so they could have a son, because
Yes.
six girls were not enough and they
Yeah,
would want to have a 7th child.
yeah,
But now when you see now, people are okay with just one girl, and
yeah,
they are more than happy, and they're just okay, like it doesn't matter to them, and they're like, that's my
yeah.
child. It's not like it's my son or my daughter. And this one generation in India has made
So
so
much
much
change.
so much improvement, and
I
it's
know. It's
amazing.
amazing. And I think the other big piece is like, even with it, just like it is with any country, we can't generalize. America has its own, problems and pockets and, things that we don't know about because we don't live there. Same thing with India. Like, we live in metropolitans. Sure, that's the culture there, but we have another 60% of rural areas, which we have no idea how they function and, what that world is. Like, we don't even spend any time there, when growing up, so it's totally different worlds, and we can't generalize any bit of it. But all we want to do is together want to make a much better world for everyone, and really spread the message of equality over just pure feminism, which is a radical feminism. I don't want to say pure feminism, but radical. But radicalness of anything is terrible because this world needs both genders and it'll always need both genders. So the conversation is definitely towards equality over other things. So changing gears here for a little bit, I really want to know, how do you think the fitness helps you live your best life?
Uh, I think that's a very obvious question. Uh, I think there are things that we've said more commonly, like very easily, like health is wealth and
Mhm.
stuff like that. I mean, no matter how much you earn or no matter how much time you spend with anybody, anything,
Mhm.
uh, if you are not fit enough to enjoy it, what is the
Mhm.
point?
Yeah,
uh,
definitely.
if you have a car and imagine you have a back pain and you can't drive it yourself, you can't sit in one place for that long, what is the point of that expensive car, right?
Yep.
That's what I think. That's why people should at least give 30 minutes of their time to fitness.
Mhm.
Other than that, for me, it has been an amazing journey. For me, I was just a person who would go to office, come back from office, just talk about office, and
Yeah.
suddenly it has become about, oh, tomorrow I have to do this. Every night I sleep, I know what workout is going to be tomorrow, and I'm so excited to wake up the
Oh,
next day and really be able to do that workout because I
yeah.
am so excited for it. And that is a part of my daily routine. And then after that, I'll have these movie opportunities where people want to work with me.
Yeah. Tell us more about that.
And so this recently I did a movie with one of the best Bollywood stars, that's Ranbir Kapoor and Alia Bhatt. Okay, so there I was the stunt girl, and the country hasn't seen a lot of girls who are into stunts. So basically, if anybody wants girls who can perform stunts, we prefer getting hiring people from outside. We think
Yeah.
girls outside can do it better. Yeah. So all these years, there have been people outside who've been hired, like even for simple stunts.
Mm.
So when I went to the set, and it was my first time, so I was really nervous, and I was sitting with these superstars and being like, I don't know how I'm going to perform, and all these girls around me, all these makeup artists and the supporting actresses, all of them were like, we are so excited to just look at you. Like, we have never seen an Indian stunt girl, like never in our life. This is the first time
Oh.
we're so excited to see you. And I'm like, wow, really? I that cool? And they're like all taking pictures with me, and it was a crazy experience. Like I usually we are so much in self doubt. Am I
Yeah.
enough? Am I doing enough? Will I be able
Yes.
to do justice to this movie? Will I be performing enough? But when people from all, like, there have been a makeup artist who's been in the industry for 25 years, and these ladies come and say, I've been working for so long, but I have only seen foreigners,
Yeah.
girls come in and doing the stunts. This is the first time I'm seeing an Indian girl, and I'm like, wow. And adding to that, all this, when they ask me, okay, what do you do? What do you play? I said, oh, I'm a software engineer, and they're like, shocked. They're like, wow, a stunt girl who is in technical stream, like, how is
Yeah.
it possible? And I'm like, yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's how you're breaking stereotypes in real life. So you're the
I
real
don't
hero.
take stereotypes, but it is so much fun. Like, it is so much.
Yeah, that's very nice. So tell us, the movie comes out in what, 2020? Is that the time?
Yes. I think it's in December 2019 or maybe 2020. Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm so excited to watch you in action. And I hope that you get more of these opportunities, and make us proud.
Oh my
So
God,
we can
I
say
will.
we went to hostel with her. That's so awesome.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I
that's
go
so
and tell my
wonderful.
friends that one of my friends does these podcasts with Ami.
No,
Uh,
that's all right. No, I'm just saying it's no competition. This is all collaboration over competition, and I am truly, truly happy that
so what I'm saying is, girls are doing well, and
things
we
girls are doing fabulous. This is the time to be a girl. This is
yes.
this is the era for being a female right now. This is it's cool to be a female.
Yeah.
uh, but the responsibility is even bigger on our shoulders, because I think someone like you, who's going to be the probably one of the only women stunt actors in India, or stunt artists in India. I think the responsibility is even bigger. The first parkour athlete in India, you have more responsibility to share this with other women and to actually open those doors for them too. And it's a very common thing that when we see people who look like us doing incredible things, it's easier for us to visualize ourselves doing such things, and so it's even much more responsibility on us to spread this message, and to give a hand, right, to others to
So
be able to do it.
I don't know if I'm the first or no, because like
Yeah,
I
one
said,
of the first.
hardly, yeah, one.
Doesn't matter. One of the first on that set.
Other than that, like you said it very correctly, that we have to open the doors. So how I see it as, we girls especially, they've seen movies with these superstars who are really
Mhm.
actors. When you see Iron Man and Superman and Spider-Man, all these are guys being the
Yeah.
super, and the only part the women have played is their girlfriends or their wives, or
Mhm.
their better half, never being the better one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that is how girls have grown. So being in stunts and being bodybuilders and doing these really
Macho
bold
things. Yeah.
macho things are not something that we've really been shown by the media.
Hmm.
We really late at doing it, because we were never shown that girls can be this too.
Oh yeah.
But I'm not just talking about sports. If you see any movies, no, hardly any movies when we were growing up, they spoke about women being an
Yeah.
astronaut, or women being
Yeah.
some really really cool engineer
Hmm.
who saved the world, and it was always the men.
Yeah.
We've always seen men leading it and women
Yeah.
just following, and
Yeah.
that is how we thought we can grow.
Yeah.
But now it's changing. Now we're
Yes.
seeing movies where women, like we're seeing Wonder Woman, and
Yeah.
we're seeing women who are leading.
Razi. I mean, I loved that movie. That was
Yeah,
awesome.
that's what. And
Great movies.
Gone Girl, and so many things where we see girls are smarter, and
Yes.
and from every way, if you see from every side, maybe from the movies, from the media, in sports, everywhere, all the girls are making efforts to actually show that women are also cool.
Yes. Yes.
And
Definitely. You're very cool.
yeah.
And so I know you are also a big advocate of promoting more diversity in fitness, in also in STEM. And you recently started your YouTube channel. So tell us how our listeners can help you with your efforts and all that wonderful work that you're doing in India. But I know we can all contribute and love your content from different countries. So tell us how we can get involved.
Thank you so much, Prashant, for this. So there are three things basically I do as of now. I am very active on Instagram. All my offers and all my movies and stunts have actually come from Instagram. Wow. I have not known anybody from movie industries. I don't have any contacts. So Instagram is one place. I started a YouTube channel where I put in videos as to how I'm progressing, what stunts I'm doing. And if I have more followers, basically that makes me more, popular with my with videos. Yeah.
Yes.
Which again will reach out more people. So that would be interesting. And of course, when you put yourself out there, if you get appreciation and if you get likes and if you say this is good, and it kind of makes you want to do more.
Yes, so, definitely. So people can follow you on Instagram and they can just subscribe to your channel on YouTube. We will share all the links in the episode notes so they can connect with you. And what's the third one?
The third one is I like blogging about women, I think, who are exceptionally good in sports. So I mostly write about women who have represented India in say cricket or say maybe hockey or different sports, and I don't really write about the captain because that is somebody everybody knows. I write about the players who are not very famous, but still they have made equal effort and they have been practicing for equal number of hours. So I write about them and about their struggles. I usually share them on Instagram again, and that the blogging part, if you'd like to read it, it would be nice and encouraging.
That's awesome. Tell us your Instagram handle.
It's Deepty_Kim. So it is DWPTY _Kim, KIM.
Awesome. And again, as I said, I'll share the link so people can go follow you. And before we let you go, tell us your favorite book, if you have one.
I love reading about people whom I can relate to. So basically, there should be. I like Steve Jobs, the autobiography of Steve Jobs. I loved reading about Abdul Kalam and Mary Kom. I love reading about entrepreneurs and athletes, and
that's a vast genre. There's a lot of books in there. So that's awesome, Deepti. Thank you so much for your valuable time, and thank you so much for doing all the great work you're doing. I'm sitting here in awe, and I'm just like, okay, this was one of the things that I hadn't come across on Instagram. I know there is a huge women in STEM community that is breaking stereotypes like there's no tomorrow, and Instagram is a great platform. And I will give you a shout out. I'll have my friends give you a shout out on Instagram, because a lot of these women are especially doing something similar, like where they're scientists and then they then they're dancers, and then they're or there's like scientists or microbiologists and space scientists and astronauts and physicists and engineers and doctors. But they're doing, they're like models. And, on the other hand, they're like, these Instagram models or travel models or they do crochet art and stitching, and oh my God, it's a huge world. And
girls are just so good at multitasking.
I know, and they're just really good at both. And they tell a similar story that, hey, we found ourselves after we found this thing that kind of fuels us and brings us joy. So I am very excited and happy for you that you found what gets you energized and what can propel you into a very, 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 very bright future. So thank you so much for taking the time. I'm very excited that we got to chat.
Thank you so much, Prasha. I really enjoyed talking to you.
And that was Deepti with her incredible STEM story. Please use the links in the episode notes to follow Deepti and her amazing journey in STEM. Next week, join us to listen to the story of Renee, who is a systems engineer on NASA's Orion crew mission that is going to take humans to Mars. And this is an amazing story. So make sure to tune in next week. Also, please subscribe to our show so that we can bring you more amazing stories in STEM fields. Thank you so much for listening. Bye.